everyone. Welcome to our 33rd, 34th-ish episode of Brew Talk with Mr.Beer. My name is Robert Lewis. I got Zach back. I got a guest
Cheers.
back. I know it's been like 5 weeks of looking at my face, so I thought I'd bring another face on.
And you chose mine?
I chose Zach. Got two handsome-looking gentlemen in here. So before we dive into what we're going to talk about today, a few housekeeping. If you have any questions, comments, anything that you want to see us talk about, leave the comments. I saw someone comment on YouTube last week. I did see it. I have not replied back to you, but I will. Don't worry, I'll get back to you. So we'll cue that up, talk about what we're drinking today. I'm drinking an IPA brewed by our graphic designer, Matt. It has all kinds of stuff in it. I think he put like oats milk in it and coconut and sage, and it's just really...
It's wacky, but it's
tropical,
delicious.
but it's really good, and it cleared up a lot. It's really light. It's great for, drinking a beer at 10 o'clock in the morning, which is what we're doing. So,
cheers.
Yeah. What
I've
do you
got
got?
the cinnamon dolce stout, so got a nice little breakfast-oriented beer going on. So we're good.
Cinnamon rolls, and we'll be good to go. All right. So our topic today is actually something we were just talking about in the office this morning. It's a question that we get a lot, especially as the amount of new brewers that we're getting in.
Yep.
We get a lot. Basically, people always say, "Why is my beer darker than what I thought it would be?" And that happens to do with brewing with malt extract. I think if you're a known home brewer, you know that malt extract always come out a little bit darker than brewing with all grains. That's just a byproduct of the extract. So I brought Zach on because he is a homebrew wizard to to kind of gear us up for what we're going to talk about. So we're just kind of winging it. So we'll dive on a few topics here. But the first main thing that we're going to talk about is I think we'll start at like the base of how it's made using the type of grains that is used in Australia.
Yeah, so basically they use all of our malt extracts made by Coopers in Australia, and they have a particular kind of grain, and it's known for being a little darker anyway when it's used. So it contributes its own darkish color anyway. But then once you heat it, and then condense it, that all kind of darkens it up too. So
and it's always one thing that we've always been working with malt extract, and it's why Cooper's does so well, is to hit the colors on certain things. So like our Golden Ale, which is our new can, we hit the colors spot on. It comes out
awesome,
light, super clean. It's really awesome. So as we're retooling things and rejiggering things, we're always trying new things with hop malt extract. And I think if you watch the episode about how hop malt extract is made, that will also give you a great insight into the process. So basically when they put it, after they do the wort and the hop additions and all that stuff, they condense it down in a centrifugal evaporator, which basically extracts all the moisture out. So it's just whipping that around, takes the moisture out without adding any heat. And just with that, it gets just a little darker because you're condensing everything down, just like making maple syrup.
Yeah, it goes from a clear sap to a
so then once you dilute it with water, add it back up, it's going to get a little darker.
It just tends to be. I mean, because it's basically been brewed twice almost at this point.
Yeah,
because it's been brewed to make the wort that gets condensed, and then again when you make it at home. So
I think it's just a good thing to note is that it'll always just be a touch darker, but you can do things to lighten your beer and keep it lighter if you want to make your own recipe. That's why a lot of our recipes use like classic American light, Canadian blonde, American lager as the base, because it keeps them lighter for like some of these IPA stuff that we're making.
Yeah, exactly. If you're really after that golden, now that we have the golden, if you're really after that golden, those three have been a staple, but now the golden gives us a craft size sort of experimental test bed. So
and I think also just to note is that a lot of places in the world have different beer styles. So
Australia is definitely known for more of their malt forward beers.
I think it's the same as like Europe and England have those kind of styles too. Yeah.
So they just tend to put the hammer down on the malt, which is why more of that tends to get through on our extract. So I'm not going to complain.
No,
it's delicious.
It's still a good beer, man. So it's just one of those things that we wanted to talk about. And I think another thing also happens with talk about with age, malt extract just gets darker. Yeah,
it even when it's like in its peak, it's still going to be a little darker. But as it gets older, it darkens and gets sweeter. So it's one of those things that is the nature of the beast. There's no way to stop it from doing that.
Yeah. So if you're brewing an older can, we always say expect it to be darker.
Yep.
Just get some new yeast.
Yeah. Just make sure your yeast is fresh and it's fine, but it'll be darker. It's just the nature.
I think we covered
the grains.
Yes. The process.
The styles. And the age. And then also, do hops play a role in that at all?
A
little bit. A lot of the malt extracts will darken slower if they're unhopped, but because the hops add certain other chemical compounds, it kind of just doesn't break it down faster, but it just ages quicker. So in that regard, it's just going to get darker from whatever chemicals they contribute.
And I think we try to do a pretty good job with our specs of listing the real IBUs of what the beer will be. And if you're new, obviously you're not, or not IBUs, SRMs. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I'm just, IPAs all the time are always in my head. So we do a good job trying to list what the real SRM is going to be, not for that style. Like we don't just list like pale ale SRMs. We list what the SRM is of our Northwest Pale Ale. So they're always going to be a little darker than what it's supposed to be. But in the end, you're still making great beer, man.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it tastes fabulous, it usually works for the homebrew crowd. It's, if you're going to try and do a competition, you might have to do a little bit of finagling to make sure it's whatever the BJCP guidelines are. But if you're not competing, enjoy the
good beer.
Enjoy it.
And I think that's a thing that you know, you can make a beer, but also where our recipes really come in handy. If you really want to brew something that is true to like a lager sour or pale ale, then you can cruise our recipes and find something there, because those are all really good beers that are very good to style. That do really well. Especially all of our new recipes that we've come up with since like the last 6 months are killing it. 5,400 second IPA. So good. One of my favorite ones. Anything else you got to add to this?
No, I think we covered all the major points.
Yeah. So like I said, if you got any questions, let us know. Thanks for taking time to watch us today. Kind of a wing on the episode. We were busy yesterday. It's just been a busy holiday season for us. So thanks everyone for putting up with us, dealing with, we're a little behind on some things, some orders getting out, stuff like that. But we will get to you, answer your questions, do everything we need to do. So always we post videos on our blog, YouTube page, Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter, Pinterest, wherever you are. Like it, subscribe, comment, do whatever is functional of that social media platform. And join our Facebook group, Mr.Beer's Brewing Society. We're well over like 600 people in there. There's too many posts in there now in a day where I can't even keep up. I don't know how Ashley does it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in here. But it's a great place.
A lot of good content.
A lot of good content, great ideas, great recipes. I like watching everyone create their own stuff too. And that's the cool thing about like brewing with malt extract. You can wing off and create your own things.
Easy. You can do a couple of custom recipes in a day as opposed to one a day.
One a day. Just brew all the beer you want in the world. All the beer. All right, guys. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving last week. Hope you guys drank some homebrew, shared some homebrews. I think that's always what's fun about Thanksgiving.
Definitely.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.